Years ago, I had a moment when I pulled my vehicle over to the side of the road and realized my life needed to change. I remember I was driving home and I had this heaviness inside of me. And the truth was, home didn't feel like home to me. It's actually kind of strange to say, because it was what I would have once called my dream home. Something my younger self could have only imagined having. But I was living in it, and I was probably the most unhappy I had ever been in my life. The only part of that home that felt like home to me were my girls. They were my home. But everything else didn't feel right. And deep down, I had known that for a long time, but I hadn't fully allowed myself to accept it yet. And as I was driving that day, something just told me to pull over. And so I did. And I remember sitting there looking into the rearview mirror. And in that moment, I allowed myself to see clearly. I wasn't being true to myself. I wasn't living as who I was really meant to be. And I made a very simple decision. I said to myself, I'm just going to be the best person that I can possibly be. That's it. I didn't know it at the time, but that moment was the beginning of everything changing. Within about 2 weeks, everything in my life began to shift. My 40th birthday came. I met with a psychic. I found a book about angels, and I began channeling. And before that, I had no idea what I wanted for my life. I had spent so many years just allowing others to choose that for me. So that moment in the car was the first moment I chose something for myself. And what's interesting is, moments like that actually became part of the inspiration behind my book, Levita. I want to share a short piece of the book. This is the beginning, the rear view mirror. I move a few strands of hair away from the sides of my face, catching my own gaze in the mirror. Gray hairs peek out from beneath the dark chocolate. I cover what I can with a brown-black mascara wand and call it good. My breath deepens and a sigh escapes me. My mind wanders. Where have the years gone? How quickly time passes. And that question, where have the years gone, is something so many of us ask ourselves. Sometimes life doesn't change because something big happens. Sometimes it changes because we finally stop long enough to tell ourselves the truth. And once you see that truth, you can't unsee it. That's what a rear view mirror moment really is. Have you ever had a moment where you suddenly saw your life more clearly? Sometimes looking back is what finally helps us to move forward.